This is going to be one of those videos today. My thoughts are getting very introspective. I think a lot of you will relate to what I'm going to say. And there'll also be a lot of you that probably will, hopefully, you'll start thinking a little bit about the way I'm thinking. And, maybe you'll decide I'm crazy. My thoughts are crazy. My lifestyle is crazy. And that's fine too. It's just going to be one of those videos where we all do a little thinking. I like this kind of video because I can sort of say my thoughts out loud, and I'm not just talking to myself, like there's all of you listening, watching. These guys don't give a crap about what I have to say, obviously. But it's kind of not my favorite video to edit. Just because when I'm editing it, I'm like, who is this guy? Who gives a crap what he has to say? And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll edit out the moments maybe where I stumble on my words, or there's too long of a pause and I'm thinking people are going to get bored if there's not something interesting to look at, or I'm not saying something informative or interesting. But when I edit it, I have to listen to everything that I say over and over and over. So this kind of video is not one that I do a lot of. I'll put a link to another video where I was talking about similar things we're going to talk about today. And that's really one of my most popular videos, in the sense of when people watch that video of ours, a lot of people hit the subscribe button. And that's one way I can tell that I'm at least connecting in some way with a bigger group of people than maybe some of our other videos that maybe aren't as, engaging or thought-provoking kind of thing. So after you watch this video, then go check out that one if you're interested in some more of my thoughts. And I'm really sorry I didn't bring my microphone or my tripod or any of my other camera gear. Oh, what is that? Okay, I'm distracted now. What is that? I don't see it right now, but it just walked past. It was like a little white creature. I mean, it could be, I don't want to say the word, but a rabbit. Oh man, now I just want to go over there and see what it is. It's across this sort of like ravine. It's right in there. And it does look like there's a little hole. So that might be its home. Now, I'm not kidding. I have no idea what it was that I saw. It could have been multiple things. It was moving very slowly, just right below that kind of hole right there. Under that, looks like a rock. I don't know if I'm going to cut this part out because, man, I had so much to say. I'm going to get into it. But I have to figure this out. See, now my mind is just going like, the way it was moving, it was very small and it seemed like a mammal. It could have been like a white bird, but to me, it makes me think of, and you're going to think I'm crazy, but it makes me think of like like a coyote pup or like a bobcat cub. I just haven't seen anything like that out here, except rabbits, but the rabbits I've seen are smaller than that, and they're dark colored. I gotta stop talking because this is definitely gonna scare it if I talk. But I kind of don't want to get too close until I know what it is. I feel like you're seeing things. Like it just kind of went, and then it was gone. It didn't scurry, but it was very white. Not like snow white, but off-white. Oh, look at what Ekko's doing. He found some bones. You find a bone? He knows I don't like him playing with random bones, but he still will mess around with them for a second. It seems kind of ominous. It's making me feel like I'm messing around in the Wampa cave. And Dodger's like, I don't want any part of this. Dodger's being very sporty today. It's a little rough right here with all these rocks. But he's actually doing really good. We hiked like 3 miles yesterday. But we're gonna head back to camp now. I got my binoculars out and I was looking across the ravine, looking to see if I could see anything. And honestly, I was a little bit too scared to go all the way over there, just because it really did look like it could have been a cat. And so I didn't want to risk it. I just didn't get a good view of it. Come on, Ekko. It really could have been anything. But it's funny because I don't know what it was. And it bugs me so much when I don't know. I just want to find out. And I probably will find out at some point while we're camped out here. And like I always say, that's what the dogs and I are out here doing, is searching for adventure and answers. And so now I have a question that needs to get answered. And this relates to what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, because I was really thinking that as we hike away from camp today on this little adventure, we're a couple miles from camp right now. That everything out here makes sense. And of course, then I run into something that I have no idea what it was. But even that, it makes sense, because this is where real mysteries happen, out here in the woods, out in nature. This is where you discover things that are real, that maybe you didn't know about before, or you just had never seen before or experienced. But everything that happens out here is real because it's nature. It's natural. It's the real deal. And what I'm comparing this lifestyle to is my previous lifestyle in the city. And if you guys don't know, the dogs and I live traveling full time for several years now. You can go back and watch our videos and you'll see me and the dogs learning all kinds of stuff about this lifestyle, living as nomads full time. When you're out in a place like this where there's really nobody around, you feel the reality of nature. And it makes me think, it makes me realize how many people don't get to experience just this. Like, this is simple, right? We park our travel trailer in the woods, we camp out, we got everything we need in there. It's like an apartment in the woods. We're super comfortable, but we can get out into a place like this and you get the full experience. It's not like the dogs and I just, travel with just a backpack. Actually, Dodger and I used to do that. We'd go out for a few nights from the city just with a backpack and hike up into the mountains. And he would go far. We'd go like 6 miles straight up the whole way up to the top of a mountain and then camp out there for a few nights, then hike back down there together. So this is sort of the way we live now. It's kind of a conglomeration of comfort, as far as having the trailer, having heat, having a fridge, 4 walls and a bed. And this, what you see out here, which is just void of humans. You will see people camped out here every once in a while, and there are like fences out here because they do have cattle running around here sometimes. Here's some fences. So you got a fence over here, and you'll see like there's a lot of deer scat and elk scat out here. Ekko, hey, he's not supposed to eat that. That's the first one I've seen him eat. It's weird because I just pointed it out to you guys and then he's like, oh, I think I'll take a bite on camera. We've been out here for almost 2 weeks now. That's the first turd I've seen him eat. But there's also cow patties out here. So they do run cattle out here. So it's not so, here's some cow patties there. What I'm trying to say is like, I'm not a mountain man so much in that I have a lot of supplies that all of you have. If you're living in a house or, a townhouse or an apartment or something like that, I have all that stuff that you have too. So I'm sort of a spoiled nature boy. There's people like you watch like Chad Zuber, watch his channel. That's not what we're doing. Like, I would like to do that. Ekko, come here. Let's chill out for a minute. Boy. When I talk to people that don't live this lifestyle, what I notice is and I'm just speaking generally, you know, and I'm not judging. It's just sort of what I notice. Everybody's different, right? I'm sure people that live in the city, they watch our videos and they think, man, that guy's weird. Like, he has to collect his water every 2 weeks. He has a tiny fridge. He has to dump his black tank to get rid of his sewage. It's like everybody's lifestyle is different. But what I notice is people are caught up with the things that other people are doing. You're watching the news media, and they're not just taking it in and realizing that their life is really not connected to that stuff. They get upset. They get really upset. And the things they see, and basically it's the TV, it's the internet, and you know, I'm not immune to that either. I could be if I wanted to, but I do engage with that stuff. I mean, I watch that stuff. I know what all you guys that are living in houses and apartments and you come home from your day at work and you don't really have any other place to go. Like the dogs and I, we go out for a hike. We can go out for walks. We can just look out our window and we'll see something different. And I try to have my mind engage with that more so than the drama, you know. And there's all kinds of drama, right? There's like opinions that people have, things that people say, like mean things maybe, politics, just that kind of drama, and it sucks you in. Dodger, come on. So you come out to a place like this, if you just take a break from that kind of stuff, and honestly, like, I don't mean like going on a vacation in a different town or a different neighborhood, but get away from it all. Get away from roads and streets and signs and buildings, cars and traffic and strangers walking down the street. And I mean, you go to some places, it's like very sketchy and scary. It's like scary. And actually, I'm fine. Like when I lived in Seattle, I would go to some like really weird places, like sketchy places, like where it's kind of not safe, but I wouldn't have my dogs with me. It would just be me by myself. So what I'm trying to say is, like, I like to get into that stuff. Like I like to see what's really happening. And so like when I lived in Seattle, I would go to places where people wouldn't go, where you'd have to hike into, and you'd find, you know, basically like I'd find homeless camps, drug camps, really sketchy stuff. But I wouldn't have my dogs with me, just be me all by myself. And so I would see the reality of what was actually really going on, you know, the secret places. And you know, that's not where I want to be. I don't want that stuff to be around, and then you just pretend like it's not there. And of course, in a big city, that stuff comes into the city too. So you'll be just in the middle of downtown and you'll see all kinds of, you know, all kinds of sketchy, weird stuff happening. And that stuff eats away at your psyche. It eats away at your brain, your personality, your morals, your values. It eats away at that. And then you add this like angst, anger, politics, violence, name calling, and it's like, oh, this is a pretty disgusting way to to live. You can blind yourself to it. And what people, I think, tend to do is they go into their houses and apartments and it's safe in there. And you don't really go outside that much. You might go to a restaurant, you sit down at the table at the restaurant, then you get back in your car and you head home kind of thing. So it's like really, what are you experiencing? What is your life really like? Now, I mean, you could say the same kind of things about my lifestyle. You know, I mean, there's, like, we were just tracking some animal. I have no idea what it was. It could have been something that was out for our blood, like wants to eat us. There's uncomfortable things. There's cactus. There's insects. There's the weather. You're exposed to the weather. There are people camped around and you might not know who that is. It could be somebody creepy or dangerous. And there's nobody out here to help you. In the city, you think like, well, at least there's the fire department and the police station is supposedly nearby and they'll help supposedly, right? Which, as you all know, like that doesn't always happen either. So I'm not saying that this lifestyle or experiencing the outdoors is necessarily better than living in a city or a town. It's different. And man, if you don't experience both ways of being, you don't have to live like this. And I don't recommend this lifestyle for anybody. Living full time on the road, it's not something for everybody. But to go out camping or go on a hike with your family or your dogs, if you don't do that kind of stuff, you're missing out. And you don't really understand the freedom, just the freedom, but I'm thinking of the freedom that your mind can have. Because out here, all of that stuff, all of that online drama, the stuff they talk about on those news shows, they make it seem so important. Out here, I mean, look at this. Do you think any of that stuff, any of it matters? Do you think any of it has any meaning out here? How could it? I think this is where I need to say, do not become a nomad. Do not think that you're going to live full-time traveling unless it's what you want to do. Make up your own mind, make up your own decisions. Don't let other people, other things you see, other things you watch form your opinions. Form your own opinion, your own idea. Do you really want to give up most of your belongings? Fit everything you own in a camper, in your truck or your Class A RV? You want to get rid of all your stuff? Do you really want to take 1 or maybe 2 showers a week? Is that really what you want to do? Do you really want to smell like I smell? I mean, basically I smell just like my dogs. you really want to deal with mosquito bites, rattlesnakes, scorpions? Do you really want to have to check your bed at night for spiders? Do you really want your life to be checking your body for ticks? Do you really want to be dependent on nobody but yourself for any mistakes that happen? It's yourself. You're the only person that can fix it, and you're the only person that caused the issue. There's no one to blame but yourself in this in this lifestyle. Going out for a weekend or a week or two or something like that, anybody can do that, and you will learn a lot, and you will probably be miserable. You'll get rained on, you'll get dirty, you'll get bit by bugs. But if it's only for a few nights or a week or two, you go back to your regular life. Now you got something to compare and see, like, oh, living like that guy lives, that guy that I seen doing a YouTube channel, living like he lives, maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be. You know, that said, we're in our 5th year now.